Literal equations and formulas. So in this lesson, we are going to be transforming real formulas to solve for a different variable. So how do we solve? We're going to rewrite equations. We're rewriting an equation is solving for a different variable. Solving using the same steps for solving equations. So we're going to distribute first, then multiply by the LCD to eliminate fractions, then combine like terms. Then we're going to add or subtract to move the variable to one side. Then we're going to add or subtract to move the variable to the other side. And then we're going to divide to get the variable by itself. The important thing to remember here is that your answer is going to be another equation. Okay, solve for m when we have y equals x plus m. So I'm looking for m, so I'm going to have to move everything away from m. Right now an x is being added, so the opposite operation would be subtraction. So now I'm going to have y minus x equals m. So m is going to equal y minus x. Okay, here I'm looking for L. I have the area equals length times width. So I have L times W, so the opposite operation will be to divide W. So I'm going to have L equals A over W, or L equals A over W. So in this equation, I'm solving for R. Right now, there's a P and a T being multiplied by R, so the opposite operation would be to divide. So I'm going to divide by P and T. Whatever you do to one side of your equation, you have to do to the other side. So I'm going to have L over PT equals R, or R equals L over PT. All right, in this equation, we're solving for base, or B. So I have area equals 1/2 base times height. So right now I need to eliminate my fraction by multiplying by my least common denominator. So that would be 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 2. So I'm going to get 2a equals base times height, because my 2's cancel out here. Now there is a h being multiplied by b, so I have to divide by h. So our base is going to equal 2 areas over height, or base is going to equal 2a over h. Okay, solve for m. Y equals mx plus b. So in this equation, we're solving for m. So we move our constant first. So I'm going to subtract b from both sides. So I'm going to have y minus b equals mx. X is being times by m. So in order to remove it, we're going to divide by x. Whatever you do to one side of your equation, you do to the other side. So here I'm going to have n equals y minus b over x. So our first step is to distribute. I'm solving for w, so I'm going to multiply 2 times L and 2 times w. So my P is going to equal 2L plus 2w. Then I'm going to subtract 2L from both sides. So I'm going to have P minus 2L equals 2w. Then I'm going to divide by 2. So I have an expression on top and a number on bottom. So I'm going to split my number apart. So I'm going to have 1p, or 1/2 p, minus 2 divided by 2 is 1. So 1L, or just L, equals w. Okay, in this equation we need to combine our like terms. So I have 7x minus 4 is going to equal 3x plus 12 equals 36 minus 5y. We are solving for y, so I need to subtract 36 from both sides. So I'm going to have 3x minus 24 equals negative 5y. Then I'm going to divide by -5. So I'm dividing both 3x by -5 and -24 by -25. So I'm going to have -3 over 5x. Two negatives makes a positive. 24 over 5 equals y. Okay, so volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h, and we're trying to find h. So my first step is to eliminate my fraction, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So I'm going to have 3v equals pi r squared h. So right now, h is being divided by pi and r, so I have to, or multiply by pi and r, so I have to divide by pi and r. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Because anything over itself is 1, so I'm going to be left with 1h, or h, equals 3v over pi r squared. Okay, I have parentheses, so I need to distribute. So I'm going to distribute my 1/2 h. So I'm going to have 1/2 hb1 plus 1/2 hb2 equals a. Then I need to eliminate fractions by multiplying by my LCD, which is 2. So I'm going to have 2a equals hb1 plus hb2. Then I'm going to subtract hb1 from both sides. So I'm going to get 2a minus hb1 equals hb2. I'm trying to solve for trying to solve for b2. So now I need to divide by h. So 2a is being divided by h. That would be 2a over h. And negative hb1 is being divided by h. So those h's are going to cancel out, leaving with negative b1. These h's cancel out, leaving me with b2. So b2 equals 2a over h minus b1. Okay, so anytime that you have a ratio equaling a ratio, you can cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply a times d and get ad, and b times c and get bc. I'm solving for a. Right now a d is being multiplied by a, so I need to divide by d. So a is going to equal bc over d. Trying to solve for h. So first I'm going to subtract 2 pi r squared from both sides. So I have s minus 2 pi r squared equals 2 pi r h. So now I'm trying to solve for h. I'm going to divide by 2 pi and r. Everything over here is getting divided by 2 pi and r. So s is being divided by 2 pi and r, and 2 pi r squared is divided by 2 pi r. So our 2's are going to cancel out here, my pi's are going to cancel out here, and r squared is the same thing as r times r. So one of my r's are going to cancel out. So I'm going to be left with s over 2 pi r minus r, because I still have this r remaining, equals h. Okay, here I'm solving for r. So I'm going to subtract l from both sides and get s minus l equals negative r l. This negative is a negative 1. So I'm going to be dividing by negative 1 and l, which is basically negative l. And I divide this side by negative l. So s is being divided by negative l, and negative l is being divided by negative l. Anything over itself is 1. So R is going to equal negative SL plus 1 equaling R.